Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just got done rewatching Orphan. Orphan is a 2009 film that I did see in theaters way back when, and I've seen it a couple times since, but it's been a while since I've seen this film, so I've rewatched it. It's directed by Juan Colette Serra. I think that's how you pronounce this guy's name. And look, this is one of those horror movies that it's not talked about a whole lot, but when it is talked about, it's mostly talked about and remembered for the ending, the twist, the big twist. And for good reason, because this movie does have a twist that makes you go, goddamn. But in this rewatch, I couldn't help but think, wow, there's actually a good story here. There's actually a good script. There's good actors. Who knew that this is actually a pretty good movie besides the twist? You have Vera Farmiga, who plays Kate, and she's a mom who has had a miscarriage. She has two kids, but that third child just shit went bad. And so her and her husband, John, are in the middle of looking for another child to adopt and sort of trying to repair their family. And they find this little girl, Esther, at this orphanage. And Esther, at first, seems perfect. At first, seems like she's going to be a great big bundle of joy until bad shit starts to happen, until people start to die around them. Now, I really enjoyed this film. I did. And I'm so glad that I took the time to rewatch it, because if I were to talk about this movie, before, I would have said, like, oh yeah, that was a decent horror movie, but that twist, though, rewatching it now, I couldn't help but think of Vera Farmiga is without a doubt the main character. This movie is about her. She gets the most screen time, and she has a pretty damn good backstory too, as far as not just being a mother that, had the miscarriage and had all of that stuff going on, but she started drinking after that. And they subtly point out there that her daughter, Max, who is deaf, at first they say that, oh, she was born that way, but then it's revealed that after her drinking problem, after the miscarriage, she was supposed to be watching Max, and Max fell into the lake outside the house and almost died. And that's how she lost her hearing. And it's like, oh, no wonder why Vera Farmiga's character feels so much guilt and has so much issues. And it was something that I forgot about. It was something that in a lesser horror movie would not be there. These characters would be so generic and lame and forgettable. John, her husband, is played by Peter Sarsgaard. And this dude, look, he means well, and he is trying to be reasonable, he is trying to be the nice guy, and he is trying to be logic. And they try to create doubt in Vera Farmiga's character of like, oh, well, maybe this is why she's not the most reliable. This is why you could think that she's not in the right frame of mind or lying. I get it. But this dude is so blind. He's so like, oh no, Esther's fine. No, like, what are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. Oh, what do you mean that kid fell off the slide? What do you mean this kid almost died? What do you mean her previous family, their house burned down in a fire? No, she's fine. We should probably talk about Esther, shall we? This is played by Isabella Furman. That's the lead girl here. I believe she was really 9 years old when she did this part, which makes all of this even more fucked up, really, because not only is this actress very good at this age, playing the nice Russian accent. I don't think she has a Russian accent in real life. I could be wrong, but I just thought she pulled this part off tremendously when she has these moments of just being an evil, no good bitch. And she just does things that make you hate her and just, oh, it gets under your skin. She even makes the brother character, the son, Daniel, he at first comes off as kind of a bully or kind of a dick to her, right? Because she's not really a part of the family, according to him. He gets made fun of in school about her. And so at first you're like, oh, F that dude, right? And there's also a bully, mean girl like character that starts to make fun of Esther in the school. And at first it's like, oh, okay, they're the bullies. But Esther gives them the dirtiest looks. Esther looks at them, both of them, like, I am going to fucking kill you. Might not be right now, but it's coming. And then what she does to them, you feel bad for them, even though they were dicks, even though it still is brutal. Max is the character that I felt the most bad for, though, and I don't know if it's because she's deaf, and so I had an instant, sympathy for her in that sense, but also because she's so young, she was so impressionable, wanting to be nice to Esther and wanting to lie for her and wanting to sort of be there for her. I forgot that this movie was rated R as well. There's a couple kills in this movie that Esther does that are pretty bloody, that do go for it, especially CCH Pounder. It's always the one black actor, the one black character in horror movies that has to be the one to go. We should probably get into it, right? If you haven't seen Orphan, I would highly recommend it. Seriously, check it out. Give it a shot. If you think it's just another generic horror movie, I promise you it's not. There's a whole lot more to this. But I need to talk about the twist. The twist in this movie was a mindfuck. I remember when I first saw this in the theater, my friend and I, we both looked at each other like, what the fuck? It blew our minds. So you find out that Esther is not a 9-year-old girl. You find out she's really like 33 years old or some shit. She has a dwarfism condition to where she just looks like a child, but she's a grown-ass adult. And there's a moment where she's wearing all this makeup because she's trying to seduce the husband. Think about how creepy that is. Not just in the sense of the story, but I was even creeped out by the actress who really is 9 years old, really is wearing this makeup and is really stroking his hair and coming close to him and kissing up on his face and trying to seduce him. I would not want to be a part of having to shoot that scene. But when you find out that she's really an adult and she pulls the makeup down and somehow they're able to get this 9-year-old girl to look like a real adult, it's freaky, it's creepy. Huge kudos, though. I think that the twist, not only it's great the first time, obviously, it's the thing that people still remember and talk about the most with this film. But rewatching it, I was surprised by how hard I reacted to it. Still, knowing it was coming, it's still presented in a good way, acted out in a good way, and the whole third act is pretty damn good as well. I don't really have a bad thing to say about it. It's 2 hours long, but I was never bored. I'm never sitting there going like, oh, when's this going to end? Or, oh, I don't care about the characters. I did care about the characters. I did care about the kids. There was times where I was like, are they really going to kill these fucking kids right now? It had me. If you have seen this film, let me know in the comments below. What do you think of it? Did you like it? Did you love it? Is this a movie that you're like, oh yeah, it's been a while. I should rewatch it. See if it holds up. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.